Imagine walking into a quiet house at night. The lights are dim, the air is heavy, and sitting in the corner of the room is a man, carefully brushing the hair of the woman he loves. Just accept. She has been dead for almost 2 years. This is not a horror movie. This actually happened. A respected medical professional became so obsessed with a woman who rejected him that after her death, he did something almost impossible to imagine. He dug her up. He stole her body. He brought her home. And he tried to turn death itself into something he could control. This is the disturbing true story of Carl Tanzler. A story about love, obsession, grief. 1931, Key West, Florida. Carl Tanzler was a 52-year-old German-American radiologist. Respected doctor. He was intelligent, married man, educated, and fascinated by medicine. To the outside world, he was simply a strange but knowledgeable doctor. A quiet man, a lonely man. A man who spent most of his life chasing something he believed was missing. And then, in 1930, he met her. Her name was Elena Milagro de Hoyos. She was young, beautiful, and suffering from tuberculosis, a disease that, at the time, often meant a death sentence. The moment Carl saw Elena, something changed. He then claimed that he had dreamed about a woman who would become his great love. And when he saw Elena, he believed she was that woman. Carl fell in love instantly. He called it love at first sight. Not just someone he liked, not just someone he admired. He believed she was his destiny. But there was one problem. Elena did not feel the same way. Carl began visiting Elena. He visited her daily, gave her treatments. He brought her gifts. He tried everything he could to become important in her life. He even built her a machine he claimed would cure her. But Elena remained distant. To her, he was a doctor, someone helping her family, nothing more. But in Carl's mind, the story was different. He imagined a future with her, a future that existed only inside his own thoughts. And as Elena's health continued to decline, Carl became more desperate. He could not accept that the woman he believed was meant for him was slowly disappearing. Eventually, the illness swung. On October 25, 1931, Elena died at only 22 years old. Her family buried her in a private mausoleum, a place where they believed she could rest peacefully. But Carl Tanzler was not ready to say goodbye, not even close. After Elena's death, Carl continued visiting her grave for 2 years. He bought flowers. Night after night, he would walk through the darkness to the mausoleum, and according to him, he could feel her presence. He claimed that Elena's spirit spoke to him, that she wanted him to bring her back. To most people, grief means remembering someone, keeping their memories alive. He became convinced that death was only a temporary obstacle. And then one night, he made a decision that would change everything. Carl went to the cemetery. He opened Elena's coffin, and he took her body home. What happened next is disturbing. For the next 7 years, Carl kept Elena's corpse in his bedroom. When her skin started to rot, he replaced it with silk soaked in wax and plaster. When her eyes decayed, he put glass eyes in her skull. When her hair fell out, he used wigs, made from her own hair, that he collected before she died. He used perfume and disinfectant to hide the smell. He even built a pipe and tube system so he could be intimate with her. He called her Helen. He bought her dresses. He danced with her. He slept next to her every night. Neighbors saw nothing unusual. Nobody knew he was sleeping with a corpse for 7 years. Neighbors saw nothing unusual. The outside world continued moving. But inside that house, Carl Tanzler was living with a memory. Not a person, not a relationship, a memory. But then the secret could not stay buried forever. In 1941, Elena's sister got suspicious. She told police. When officers broke into Carl's house, they found him playing piano, with Elena's decomposed body sitting beside him in a wedding dress. Elena's family found out that the body they had buried was no longer resting in the cemetery. It was inside Carl's home. The news shocked the entire community. People could not understand how someone who appeared normal could do something so disturbing. And, boom, Carl was arrested. But here's the twist. Carl Tanzler wasn't arrested for 7 years. And even when he was, the charges didn't stick. Why? 3 reasons. 1. The law was behind him. In 1930s Florida, there was no felony for abuse of a corpse or necrophilia. Desecrating a grave was a misdemeanor at best. Prosecutors didn't have the right statute for what he'd done. 2. No one knew. From 1930 to 1940, Carl lived with Elena's body in secret. No complaint was filed. No police investigation. You can't arrest what you don't know about. 3. Time ran out. When Elena's sister finally reported him in 1940, Carl was arrested. But Florida's statute of limitations for misdemeanor corpse desecration was only 2 years. The crime happened 7 years earlier. Legally, it was too late. So he spent a few days in jail. The body was reburied, and Carl Tanzler walked free. The law simply didn't have words for his crime. So tell me, do you think Carl was evil or just broken? Comment broken if you think it was mental illness. Comment evil if you think he should have known better. And what would you do if you were Elena's sibling? I read every comment. If stories about broken minds fascinate you, hit subscribe. Because here, we don't just tell weird crimes, we debug them.